Hello, today we are going to be getting set up with Codeblocks. Now, I've been using Codeblocks for a while, and the reason why is because it has two main features that I really like. One is that it's reliable, and the second is that it's free. So there we go. Anyways, so what we have is free C++, C, C++, and Fortran. We go to codeblocks.org, and then we are going to go to downloads. Now, you're going to want to download the binary releases. And this is where a lot of people get things wrong. What they'll typically do is they will go to this Codeblocks setup exe, but really the one you want is actually this Codeblocks setup with MingW, right? The MingW is actually the compiler, whereas Codeblocks is just the editor. So if you don't download this one, if you use this one instead, you'll only have the editor, and when you try and compile your program, what will happen is that it won't allow you to use, it'll say there's no compiler. So please set up with this one here. Codeblocks right now is version 20.03, MingW setup exe, and you can get that at SourceForge or FossHub. Right? I typically go to SourceForge for it. Right, and it'll just take a moment, and then you'll be able to download it for free. Now, I'm not going to make you download it or watch me download it, mainly because, well, that's going to be kind of boring. So I'll just go to the part where it's already installed. So once it's downloaded, you can just install it into a default directory, a default folder, and then you can just have it installed and then launch it, and I'll show you where to go from there. So before you do anything, you'll have to actually create a space in your computer drive to set up your workspace. So what I'm doing is I'm going to one of my drives, and I'm going to set up a folder. Okay, and as you can see, I've set up one here called C++ Workspace. And C++ Workspace is basically where all my projects are going to go. And then when I go in here, you can see there's different workspaces and different things that I've actually created, and these are all the different projects. Okay, so delete later, number guessing game, these of D&D, and these are actually some of the solutions you can see on my channel. So once we have this, we are ready to go to the third step. So once we have Codeblocks installed, you can launch it. And the first time you launch it, it's probably going to ask you if you want to do some file associations. That basically means that it wants to know if you want to open C++ files in Codeblocks. And just say, okay, it's probably fine just to do that. Right? Like for the most cases, like it's going to be 100% okay, unless you have very specific setup or another compiler or something like that. Right? But other than that, you'll be fine. Okay, so the next step is you're going to get to a page like this, and you're going to go to create a new project. So when you create a new project, you're going to want to create a console application in C++, and then you're going to give this a project title. Now you're going to have to go and press these three dots right here, which is going to be, it's going to take you to a folder selection screen, and then you can select the folder that we just created for our workspace. And as you can see, I have D C++ workspace, and I'm going to call mine Hello World. All right, so then just press next. This stuff is all fine, so finish. There we go. Now, over here, this is our project window, or our project explorer. You can see our different projects in here. Right now, we only have one. Down here is our log. Basically, it's going to show where all our errors are and stuff like that. And this is going to be our coding window. So if we double click on sources and then on main, you can see there's a very simple program. Just a hint is that you can press Control and mouse wheel, and you can make things bigger or smaller. You're probably not going to program this size, but most people, they'll start off big, like programming like this, but very quickly they'll go to like smaller size. In any case, the only real three buttons you need to know off the start are these three here. So we have build, run, and build and run. So building means basically to translate the code that you're writing into the machine language that the computer can understand. Run means to just run the last build that you made. Most of the time, like 99% of the time, you're just going to press this one, build and run together. All right? And so if I just build and run this, you can see in the console, there's my Hello World program. Okay, now if you have previously installed Codeblocks but you did not use it with the Ming W compiler, you can fix it here. You go to Settings and then Compiler. And then here you can see mine has the GNU GCC compiler. What you can do is do a drop down and you can just pick that one, or you might have to find it. But it's usually in the same folder where you installed Codeblocks. All right, so if you just go and look for this is the Ming W compiler there, then that'll fix that problem, and then you can work with it again. All right, and so that's basically how you set up Codeblocks and how you start coding. Now, I would recommend that you make a new project for each assignment or each actual project that you do. Don't just keep adding into your own projects, into existing projects, because it makes things really hard to find. Right. Another piece of advice also is to always give your projects a meaningful name. Like, don't call them ASDF or assignment one or something like that. Like, give them, like, if you want to call it assignment one, call it like A1 and then what the title of the project is so that you can find it later. Right. Just over time, you'll build up so many projects that it'll be impossible to find them. You'll have like A1000 and, one of the projects in there is going to be like what you're looking for. Anyways, that's pretty much it. So if there are questions, put them in the comments, or I guess you can send a shout out to me if you know my email. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.